I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm many days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Now my friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. Now I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't go. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do.
Paris, millennials, ducats, squadron. Yeah.
What's good? Who here with me? Let's make sure that we're good. Let's make sure my program is up and running. Can I do a sound check? Keeps going in and out. Stephanie Hyde said there is something wrong with the technology. It keeps going in and out. Can you back out and come back in, Steph? Appreciate it. Try that. Anybody else here? Let me just make sure that we're good to go. I know I've been off and tech is crazy. There's Alethea. What's good, sis? She said, hey. I probably didn't say it the way she said it. She typed, hey. Alethea says sound is good. Steph, why don't you back out, come back in? Okay, she says, I am going to go out and come back in. Sound like a good idea. All right, let's get at a shot. Get at a shot, Steph. What's good with everybody today, man? I know I got some building to do. I know I've been gone. Thank you, Preston. He said YouTube is good. Thank you. I got some build back I got to do. I've never had a problem building and rebuilding and redoing things and rebuilding relationships, rebuilding everything. It's never thank you, Edward. He said good on this end. Glad to see you back. Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel good. I feel really good. I'm rejuvenated. Feel good. It feels good to be back. I miss my family, away from my family. Everyone here is my family. I really appreciate it. Some of you are those one kind of cousins, and I understand them type of people in your family. I understand it. You only are messed up by folks like that if you never see them coming. But if you see them coming, you're good to go, bro. We all know. I've been dealing with people like that since the third grade. It's the third grade when I understood how people could actually be. So no problem. I got a couple things I want to talk about today, but I'm going to get warmed up first. I was on the road the other day with my daughter, and I don't know if is it just me? Help me out, family. Is food not the same? Does it not taste the same like it used to? Like, I was a McDonald's guy growing up, a Burger King, Wendy's, fast food. I was a fast food guy. Okay. Myself being a younger person on the run all the time on the go, talking about as a young adult. I stayed in the drive-throughs. You understand? I stayed in the McDonald's line. I stayed in the Burger King and the pizza and all that. I stayed in all those lines. I'm not proud of it, but I'm just telling you my truths. And it seems to me that food is not the same. It just doesn't taste the same anymore. I don't know if it's the way they reprocessing it. I'm not quite sure if they cutting back on the ingredients. I don't know what it is, but it seems to have a different taste. Now, let me tell y'all what I've been looking for the longest, and they're still around. I can find them. I just can't find their taste. When I was growing up, I really enjoyed Kentucky Fried Chicken. Famous recipe. I like the famous recipe place, but I also like the famous recipe. I guess isn't that what it's called at Kentucky Fried Chicken? The original famous recipe? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I ain't found that recipe. I ain't had that recipe in I don't know how long. The chicken is not the same. It's very plastic. I don't know. It's stretchy. The ingredients, that taste that I've been searching for is no longer there. And I have a craving for it at times. It's almost like White Castles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't eat White Castles, but once every 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I get to Cincinnati. When I get to Cincinnati, I might get to McDonald's, or excuse me, I may get to White Castles. I don't know. But Kentucky Fried Chicken, man, I have been waiting for the famous recipe to show up in this original recipe that I've been ordering. I just can't find it. It's just not there anymore. And I tried some on my way to Evansville over the weekend, riding with my daughter. Actually, let me take that back. I did try some, but it was riding back home. Driving back home, I had this big craving for a 3-piece original recipe with mashed potatoes and coleslaw. I could taste it, but my taste buds was taking me back to the 80s or the 90s, I guess. because I know deep down inside the shit ain't gonna be what I want it to be. I'm just buying this knowing that I'm not gonna get what I'm looking for. And I just disappoint myself. I totally disappointed myself by purchasing KFC on my way back home. I was already depressed. I didn't have my baby with me. I took that long ride down there, had a great time, and I drove all the way back without my baby, and I was just depressed. So I just did what depressed people do. I I just stopped at every freaking stop and got me something to eat, something to drink. I was just burying myself in food and junk and just shit that I normally don't intake in my body. So I stop at KFC, and for some odd reason, I just could not, I couldn't find that taste. It's just not there anymore. Is anybody, is anyone else having problems with that? Is it just me? Because my daughters, they think they know everything because they bio majors and shit like that. You can't talk about nothing without them breaking it down to a science. My daughters are telling me that every 7 years that human beings, our taste buds change. I don't know if that's true or false or whatever. I don't know if it's a fact. I don't know. But I know that for many, many years now, I have not been able to get original recipe to taste like original recipe. I know that the Big Mac does not taste like the Big Mac of old. Now, is it their product or is it my taste buds? I'm just curious. I surely would like to know that. I would like to know if it's me or if it's the taste buds or if it's the product itself. I'm curious to know because I'm killing myself. I'm hitting my head up against the wall trying to find that old taste. Trying to find that old taste, man. If that's the case, let me ask you something. Because I don't drink, okay? I don't drink. I don't do drugs or anything like that. For my drinkers out there, because Coke and Pepsi, if you do, that shit tastes the same to me. I've had the same taste buds my whole life. But now let me ask you, does alcohol taste different than it did when you were a little younger and, in your 20s or whatever? Does alcohol, has that changed? Has those brands changed their product? Or is it your taste buds that are different? Or don't you guys, like who drink, because I'm not a drinker, I don't know, but don't you change? Don't drinkers tend to graduate into, I don't know if it's necessarily more expensive drinks, but as you're younger, you might buy some cheap shit just to get some drunk off on, you know what I'm saying? And then as you get older, you start elevating your pockets get a little better and you elevate your price and you can buy better brand product. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they should do a KFC upgrade. KFC 0.2 or some old shit. I'm willing to pay whatever it costs to get me back to that original KFC taste. I'm willing to, I'd pay for it. Damn it. I would pay. Let me just say this to you. I would pay Wendy's. I don't know if you guys remember this, and I don't know if I'm showing my age, but I would pay Wendy's extra money if they would do that sandwich they used to do. It was a single with cheese with the special sauce. And the special sauce was actually the McDonald's sauce. That, I don't know, what is it, Thousand Island type sauce? That was the best sandwich in the world. And you remember when Wendy's hamburgers would fall off the edge of the bun and the bun was real big, but the sandwich was greasy and the cheese was on the side of it and it still fell off the side of the bun? That was my shit. I really loved me a Wendy's hamburger back in the day. And then they had that sauce, that special sauce that McDonald's started hating on. That was McDonald's sauce. They just didn't call it that. It was the same little that Thousand Island sauce that they put on the Big Mac. They had it on the Wendy's sandwich, and it was amazing. It was a great sandwich, but they just don't make food like they used to. It's smaller. I don't think that buns are really buns. Hamburger buns that they have on McDonald's sandwiches, they shiny, too shiny at the top. Something's going on with this shit. I don't know if it's real bread. I don't know. Doesn't taste the same. But KFC, man, I've been looking for that. Let me tell you the best. When I lived in Cincinnati, I'm going to tell you guys the best chicken. Let's do a survey if you guys don't mind. Let's do a survey. And don't say my mama. Don't say my mama chicken the best. But who had the best fast food chicken in the city of Cincinnati? I can guarantee you guys nobody could top my favorite chicken in the city of Cincinnati. And you can bring your neighborhood store chicken. You can say Mr. Roof. Mr. Roof had that. He had Rooster's Roof over on Liberty. You can say all that shit. You can say whoever, and I can guarantee you, my chicken will top whatever chicken brand that you bring to this conversation. Mama Birch said Churches. You know, Churches is a real close second. Churches was the shit. I ain't gonna lie, but it can't touch the chicken I'm gonna tell you about. Churches was good. I don't know what it was. Okay, Stephanie High said Lee's. I never was a Lee's chicken. We got a winner. We got a winner. I never was a Lee's chicken dude. I'm gonna remember who said this, and that's because me and I knew he was a smart brother. But listen, Lee's I never got in. You know, I never got into Lee's. I'm surprised no one said Popeyes. Popeyes is fairly new to the area. I guess it's been in the Cincinnati area. I don't know, 20 years maybe. I don't know, 20, 30 years. I don't know. Somebody said Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers sold chicken? I didn't know that. I thought they were a hamburger type of joint. They probably did sell chicken because they had the chicken nugget and all that type stuff too. Never went in Roy Rogers. I lived in an apartment on I forgot the name of it. I was such a little boy. By the Palm Room, there used to be a Stephanie Hyde. You might want to log out with that crazy ass answer. She said Richie's. Richie's. Shit. Richie's. But no, I'm just kidding. But I lived right behind a Roy Rogers one time by the Palm Room. I don't Kemper Ave. That's where it was. Never went in Roy. Never went there. Manager, I told you this story a long time ago, and I'm not going to say it again. But a manager who used to work there, a black lady, gave us we used to walk over there. My mom, we was fucked up, bro. We was so fucked up. That's how we were. We must have been poor. We must have looked poor because my mom and I would go over to Roy Rogers at night. And believe it or not, we ate there sometimes because they would have to throw stuff away. And we wouldn't go in the trash. I'm not about to sit here and be perping like that. But my mom would get some of the chicken. The manager was a black lady who would allow us to have not chicken, but whatever they had that they were going to throw away. She would just give my mom bags, some shit, bags of stuff that, I mean, beggars can't be choosers. We didn't put an order in. She would just hand my mom a bag out the back door because our apartment building was right there. My mom would come downstairs and we would walk over there, and this lady, man, I'll never forget her. She would always hand my mom one of the bags out the back door, and it was stuff that they were throwing away. And we would go upstairs. My mom would break it open, and we would ration it. It was, you just never, God, I miss my mother. Yeah, that's what we used to do. My mom used to get that. Yeah, LaDonna said Roy Rogers was on William Howard Taft. Yeah, it was on William Howard Taft right by the library. But if you remember what the Palm Room was, where Mr. Ware used to DJ, I lived in that building as a real, I mean, I can't even remember how young I was. You understand? I can't remember how young I was. I had to be 5 or 6 years old. And we stayed in this efficiency where we used the stove as our heater. All right. It was those days when your electricity and shit wasn't working because your mom, I guess my mom didn't pay it or whatever. So we would use the stove as the heater. And yeah, I remember getting bags of food. Thank you for that, sister. I'm sure she was an older lady back then. So I know she's probably moved on to heaven by this time. But yeah, that's how we were. That's how we was that's how it was, man. That's how it was. But now let me tell y'all who was the winner of the chicken thing. Of the chicken. I'm sorry. I'm still shaking off some of this rust, guys. Let me tell you who the winner is. My man, my number one grandstand guy, AP, Anthony Prosser, was on point. He's the only one that told the truth. He's the only one that told the truth. It's our truth, AP. The best chicken in the city of Cincinnati was Golden Skillet. If you never had Golden Skillet, now I know some of y'all suburban black folks never had it. Y'all ain't never had nothing that tastes like this. And the craziest shit in the world, we all used to barbecue downtown. We all used to have all our little cookouts. Mama and them got the mac and cheese and all this old shit. AP, do you remember who used to run Golden Skillet? Does anybody remember? They were on Logan Street, next door, right down the street from LeBlanc Boys and Girls Club. Well, I would rob them up. I'm gonna go get me some of that chicken. You hear me? I would rub quarters together. I'd find shit on the ground. I'd go get me some bottles. You know, back in the day, we had 10-cent bottles, Pepsi bottles, Coca-Cola bottles. You take them up to the store, you get 10 cents. All right. But I would get my money and, you know, save it. If you never had Golden Skillet and you live in Cincinnati, you lost a whole, you missed out on something in the city of Cincinnati. And I'm going to tell y'all a little secret about this place. First, AP, can you tell me who used to run Golden Skillet? If you're still here. AP, if you're not here, that's cool. But if you are here, can you, or somebody that used to go to Golden Skillet, can you tell me who used to run Golden Skillet? Donna, I don't know how you never had Golden Skillet. Ask Sean about Golden Skillet. Me and him would go in there and split sandwiches and shit. Split a two-piece. We would put our money together. Y'all know that's my sandbox. I love this dude like we bros. But me and Sean would go in there all the time. From the boys club, walk down the street, right there at Golden Skillet. They had a two-piece with a biscuit. The biscuit was so soft. You understand? The biscuit was, look, it was crazy. Yeah, who said that? Terry Anderson said Chinese. They were Asians. I don't know. AP said Asian. I don't know. They Chinese. You got to be careful these days. Chinese don't like to be called Vietnamese. Vietnamese don't like to be called you know, whatever, kanjis. They don't like to be called different shit. They starting to get like us. But anyway, the Asians, some Asian couple, a man and a woman, owned Golden Skillet. They was in there frying up some shit. And every time I watch a movie that's like something in Compton or some movie that got like, you know, Charlie Chan or some old shit, and they show a restaurant in the hood, I always think about Golden Skillet. Because these were two Asian people. It was a man and a woman who had no kids. They just ran that business, and they ran it probably for about 50 years. I could easily say no, that's a little, I would say they ran it for about 40 years. Yeah, Mama Bert said the big yellow sign. And it was the best chicken in the city of Cincinnati. And I would put it up against even Mama and them chicken. You hear me? From the Black Skillet, I'd put it up against that. The seasoning was crazy. I never seen a Golden Skillet truck pull up. I never seen Golden Skillets anywhere else in the city. I never seen them like when I traveled. Never seen Golden Skillet anywhere but that one location. And I was wondering, where the hell are they getting this chicken? Now, short story before I get into what we're talking about today. Short thing about Golden Skillet. Let me tell you what I did. When they were leaving, in other words, when they owned the property, Golden Skillet was for sale. The husband and the wife. Let me say this before I say it. They never changed anything in Golden Skillet. It was kind of spooky, scary, kind of crazy at the same time. They still had that one little black boy with the sandwich in his hand like this, with the sweater on. You remember Picture Day? When you wore the sweater and the sweater had the stripes and you had the little afro. It's the same little picture from the 70s, still sitting up on the damn thing. I mean, you know how they had the sandwich, the chicken sandwich, and enjoy a sick. It was just a marketing poster. It was faded. Dude was still on there eating a sandwich. And that same poster was there since I was a kid at the Boys and Girls Club all the way to the time that I was going to buy a Golden Skillet. Yes, it was on my radar. I was going to buy Golden Skillet, and let me tell you why I was going to buy. How much they wanted. It was amazing. They wanted $75,000 for Golden Skillet. If it was 2025 versus, I guess it was 2014, maybe when that was, I'd have to do the math. It's 25 now. It was probably 2013, 14-ish, right there by Finley Market. And they tore the building down, but these folks own the building. They wanted to sell it for $75,000. I was a serious player in Golden Skillet. But what I found out was this. No wonder you stopped serving drinks, Pepsis and Coca-Cola, whatever it was, in regular foam cups. They stopped selling cup, the Golden Skillet cups. They didn't have Golden Skillet napkins. They didn't have Golden Skillet products anymore. They still had the building, the brand and everything, but I don't think Golden Skillet existed. Like the manufacturer, you know what I'm saying? The warehouse where you get all the napkins and the spoons and the forks and everything that's branded Golden Skillet. I don't think that's there anymore. So how the hell y'all been selling Golden Skillet? Where you been getting this Golden Skillet chicken? Because generally when you're a franchisee, you buy from the franchisor, you get your products in, just like Chick-fil-A and all the rest of them. If the franchisee get cut off from the main franchise, they can't sell the product anymore. So how was Golden Skillet? So I got into discussions with these folks, and come to find out I was not buying anything other than the building and a used to be brand. Golden Skillet didn't even exist anymore, but they still had the chicken. They were still, and I was like, nah, the price is right. I should have bought it just for the property, just for the building, because being right there at Finley Market. But I was so caught up. This was 12, 13, maybe 15 years ago. I was so caught up in the chicken. I wasn't even thinking like a businessman. I was thinking more of, I would love to own this chicken line, this Golden Skillet. It's a childhood thing. It's my favorite spot. Of course, I want to buy it if I can. But you know what? It would have been a bad purchase for the brand of Golden Skillet. However, thinking back on it, it would have been a great investment of $75,000 for the Golden Skillet building, because whoever bought it, they wasn't thinking about the chicken brand either. They bought it, and now it's a freaking parking lot. Duh, I should have been all over that. Wasn't thinking clearly. I was thinking with my emotions. That was a business decision that I was thinking, and all I could hear was my partners. All I could hear, this was me doing this on my own. All I could think of is my partner, Sean, Jazzy, all these guys. If I buy Golden Skillet, this is going to be the shit, yo. We grew up on this shit. You know what I'm saying? I guess it was sort of like when, people want to own things where they grow up, monumental places. You want to own. I mean, I think most people that are independent thinkers think that way. They want to own where they grew up. And some don't, some do. I have been one of those that have practiced buying property where I skinned my knees as a kid, where I played hide and go seek. I own some of those buildings right around that area that, where we used to play hide and go get it, where we used to play freeze tag, where we used to play Mother May I, where we used to play, all them little Foursquare and all that shit. I always, that's just me. I've always wanted to have a piece of piece of history. I don't know. But yeah, they wanted $75,000 for it, and they wanted cash. Like, you can go to the bank, of course, and they would get a check. That's considered cash. But they didn't want to do owner financing. They didn't want to do land contract. They didn't want to do any of the things that I had been taught to do as an independent person. I didn't want to pay any interest on it. I didn't want, I was trying to do all the things that I was taught how to do to acquire that business. And then when they hit me with the shock, they hit me with this thing of, well, we don't order from the Golden Skillet manufacturer anymore. But there's the book of recipes. Here's what you do. And we'll come in and train you for 3 months and show you how to make the product and this and this and this and that. I personally, my lawyer Dan, he was like, "Well, Wyatt, I don't know if you really want to do that because you can get slapped with, infringement." It just got a little messy, more than I really wanted to deal with. And I've learned over the years that the things that you see, the perceptions that people put out there, they're not always what we think they are. I remember somebody told me a long time ago, be careful. Be careful of meeting your idols. Be careful of meeting the people that you admire the most. Because if you meet them, you just might get disappointed. You might just disappoint yourself if you get a chance to meet the people that you admire the most because they just might not be the person that you thought they were. I've been disappointed like that a few times in my life. I've been told, get away from me, kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge. I've been told, get the fuck away from me. And I've been told that by people that I admired, people that I thought were cool. Then I get around some people that I don't want to be the smart guy in the room. I'm trying to absorb the information, and they know what I'm doing, and they treat me like that. They treated me like he's just here for the knowledge, and then they cold shoulder you. They do that, and it's funny because I've been watching a lot of things. Yeah, thanks, Ed. Beat it, kid. I've been told that. And it's just crazy, man, because what we talk about sometimes are doing things collectively, all together, building Black Wall Street, doing all this type of shit. And I'm going to tell you the most difficult thing, and this is going to sound sad. And then I'm going to move on to what I got to say because it's 2025. It's a new me. The most difficult thing with doing something collectively is not necessarily making it happen. Like no one's in our ear, no one's stopping us from doing what we want to do. I think the main thing that's stopping us from working together is simply us. That's it. It's simply us. We don't know how to, and I don't mean all of us. I'm saying in a certain manner, in certain ways of how we do things. We're afraid to teach one another certain things. And this is not all people. I'm talking about my experiences. I've never had a problem teaching anybody anything that I know, that it took me years to understand, because I also understand the realization that just because I taught you something that took me 5 years to know, now that you know it, you can't execute it like you've known it for 5 years. You cannot execute it like you've known it for 5 years. But what you can do is maybe not fall in some of the pit holes that come along with not knowing. So I'm a very understanding individual that just because I share the recipe don't mean that you can you can't just go in there and cook it the way it's supposed to taste just because you know the recipe. It don't work that way. Tanika, if Tanika gave me the recipe to her pineapple upside down cake, and I'm like, well, shit, look what I'm about to do. I don't even need her no more. That's foolish of me. Because it's Tanika and how Tanika does it. It's her specialty, how she put this and how she pinch that, pinch this, pinch that. That's what make the taste. It's not just the recipe. You've known that recipe, Tanika, for 20 years. You give it to me overnight and you think I can make that same cake just like you? Well, they say keep the cake in for 35 minutes. And I keep it in for 35 minutes, it ain't gonna sit the same way your cake sit because it take 32 minutes and a half. You know from the experience of how to make the cake the right way. But what I've learned, not just by listening to people on the internet, not just by listening and watching, TikToks and shit, what I've learned as a grown man and being in business for himself and wanting to work and collaborate with people, it's not the world that's stopping us from doing it. It's one another. The things that I've tried to do with some folks, You would have thought that here's what I've learned in life. People treat you like they expect from you what they'll do to you. You feel what I'm saying to you on it? Like some of the people that I got into an industry with, boxing, they okay using you, but they don't want you to do too much, because if you get too much or too hard, too far ahead, or if you do this and this and that, they think that you'll do to them what they'll do to you. Make sense? They think that you'll leave them, you'll shit on them, you'll treat them like trash, you won't thank them, because that's what they'll do to you. Tanika, I've never made a cake in my life, sweetie. God bless you, I was really just using this as an example. Don't use those time frames. She said that cake be underdone in 35 minutes. Okay. I'm glad you laughed it off, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to make a cake. Never made one in my life. Never. Maybe those little Dolly Madison joints back in the day where you just put it in there and you just, I mean, I have so many experiences where I could bring to the table and tell you, like, this is why this deal never happened. This is why that deal never happened. Yes, I tried to work with this person. It didn't happen. It didn't work. I could tell you several situations. And you know what? Here's the thing. You'll never hear me complain. You'll never hear me say shit like, or speak on that person. Never. Even the ones that reach out to me. I have a rule. I was talking to my brother Emmanuel Livingston the other day. I told him, I said, bro, you know how it is. We could have been doing this and blah, blah, blah. And this is just not podcast. This is other stuff. I was like, bro, we could have done this and this and this and that. And we're not talking about one another. I'm talking about a situation, some things. And I was telling him, I was like, bro, I would never say anything about these people. Not on a podcast, not in a club, not at restaurant, not sidebar conversation. I would never say anything about these people, because the majority of the people that I'm referencing to on this business stuff, I reached out to them. So I just have a rule. I have a cardinal rule where if I reach out to Twin and say, Twin, let's do this, and this, and Twin shit on me and do me bad, I would never come on the air and say, don't trust Twin. Don't do business with Twin. This Twin. And I wouldn't talk behind his back. I wouldn't talk in his face like this. I wouldn't do that, because I reached out to Twin. I asked for that ass whooping. I asked to be shit on. For some odd reason, it's a cardinal rule of mine. Because trust me, trust and believe. I could say some names, and y'all be like, oh, now you perping. Now you hating. No, it's just you love a motherfucker that you don't know. That's what it is. But I would never introduce myself and want to do business with an individual, and it don't work out for whatever reason. Whether it was my fault, their fault, they talk back. And it's been situations where same people, everybody don't have them cardinal rules. You understand that, right? Everybody don't think the way I think or the way you think. No, they don't think the same, because look, some of you know because you've heard things, but I always tell people, listen, consider the sauce, consider the source, and what is that person doing now? You understand? I always tell, look, bro, don't come at me and say somebody said. I got too many people out here who know how I move in real life to be worried about somebody saying something about me behind my back. Now, I don't mean that I ain't got no problems and none of that right now. I'm just talking about over the years, I've never been caught up on people saying shit behind my back, because there's too much good things that we do right in front of people's face. And, I'm a firm believer. People that like to gossip and like to gravitate to that type of stuff, I don't want those type of people around me anyway. If they're absorbing it and they like it and they love it, they probably doing that to you too. So I just, I'm a firm believer that when things don't work out, I let bygones be bygones. I don't say anything about it. I just say, okay, well, it didn't work out. And then if that person wants to go around and give a motherfucking pity patty tour and tell some stories and some lies and shit, I might let it go on for a little while. And then I'll send a warning shot. I'm just giving an example. A warning shot is something like what I'm going to describe now. I don't mean with a gun. I mean with some truth. And I have to send these shots out sometimes, and I say things like this. Respectfully, I won't tell the truth about you. Stop telling them lies. You know what I'm saying? Stop. You have my word. I won't tell the truth about you. I don't know how to describe it. It's just you would be surprised at people that do this type of shit. You think that they stand up. You think they got $1 million trillion. You think that they ain't got to worry in life. You'll be surprised the people out here that'll try to take you up top, that'll try to use you. You would be surprised. And that's they hustle. That's how they stay clean, fresh, clean, and looking all good. They in line to get you. I didn't face it all, bro. I didn't face it all. And they think, you ever seen somebody that say the same shit? Ladies, I know y'all know this type of guy. Y'all ever seen a dude that's been in the club? He been in the clubs for 20 years now. He been in the clubs for 20, 30 years. He ain't took a break. You been gone off the scene, girl, for 10 years. You been gone. You been with a dude, y'all done had kids. Now that shit didn't work out. So you and your girls go hang out and y'all having a blast and y'all go to one of y'all little favorite spots that y'all used to go to when y'all was younger. And you run into a motherfucker that's been there, who was there when y'all used to go. He ain't saying nothing different. He's saying the same shit to a younger generation of people. That's how some of these people are in the city that hustle. They gum hustlers. They run off at the mouth. And there's somebody out there, you know, these new generations, they don't see the old heads coming. They don't see the dude. They look up to this dude. They look up to people like this or this lady. They look up to them. And they don't even see the hustle that they about to get put up. That's about to be put on, the finesse that's about to be put on them. They don't even see it. They think this person don't need their money. Shit, that person got their rent in their pocket. They ain't got no money. They ain't got nothing but them old tired ass lines to get them a free drink in the club, get them maybe a girl for a week or two until she figure out this nigga, he ain't shit. And he in there finessing young folks. All right, so let's get into a couple things. I spoke for a very long time in what I call a monologue. Did you guys see the story about the young lady? This was interesting. I just wanted to, the airline stewardess that got fired for twerking. She just finished. Let me see if I can pull up the video. She had just finished her. Did y'all talk about this? Because I've been off the scene for a while. Has anybody talked about this at all? The twerking airline stewardess? I just want your opinion. We won't talk about it long. I just want your opinion on this. All right. I want to know. I just want to know, do you think this is appropriate? Or do you think the airline stepped over and done a little bit more than what they were supposed to do? Do you think they did her bad? Roz said, Wyatt, back in the day when we was hustling, we had everything. These new ninjas ain't got a pack. I don't know, Roz. I know how it was. Look, I don't know. I'm assuming so, bro. I'm so far removed. You know what I'm like? We on the pod. I'm so far removed from that. I don't know what these old heads working with. Because when I see dudes moving like we used to, something's wrong with an old motherfucker that's moving like I used to. There's something wrong with older people, when they're still moving half their age. You see what I'm saying? When you move in half your age, this is something, there's something wrong there. And I don't really gravitate to people like that. You feel what I'm saying? See, I don't know what kind of pack he working with. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it, because he's probably working behind schedule. And anybody working behind schedule can't help me. You feel me? They need help. Yeah, I don't want to be around the needy, especially in shit that's going to get me in more trouble than I'm supposed to be in. I don't want to associate with that. You feel me? But back to this thing that I'm talking about. Anybody see the airline stewardess who she made it all the way to her probationary period. After her probationary period, she gets on the airplane and does a little twerk, and the airline fires her. They said that she was breaking the social media rules. Now, I'm gonna look at this a couple different ways from my perspective as a businessman. I don't own an airline, okay, but an airline ain't a nightclub. Obviously, they serve drinks and play a little bit of elevator music at times, but they do have a reputation of wanting to have a certain standard, classes, class. You got to have a certain level of dignity and respect when you bringing up a brand. And if it was like Spirit, or if it was like Soul Plane International or some shit like that, I probably would say, I get it, because the type of people that's coming on the plane might, even if I own that, I wouldn't want my airline stewardess doing it, because what's going to happen is guys going to see this advertisement and they're going to start trying to treat your ladies, your airline stewardess, like they fucking bottle girls. You feel me? And I wouldn't want that for my employees. So I want to nip it in the bud. I don't want my employees giving off this perception that the girls or the women on my plane or who are going to be our airline stewardess, I don't want them having the reputation of being twerkers. Okay, I don't want that out there. Not on a major brand. There's hundreds of millions of dollars invested here. I remember I was listening to a dude that was podcasting, and remember the situation happened where the black man who opened up his own restaurant in Dallas, and he was playing some music in his restaurant, and the little girls was getting up off the table. This is a restaurant with Cicely Tyson on the wall, with Stevie Wonder on the wall, supposedly a reputable restaurant. And this black man put his own money up for this restaurant. And everybody stood up, they played the music, and the girls is out twerking and shit, twerking, doing all that old stuff. A respectable restaurant. Get up, they got up on the tables and did all this shit. And the brother came out and was like, look, he lost it. He said, I've been out here 3 times telling you, please don't do this. And you know what some people were saying? They was telling him he was wrong. He was wrong because he wanted a standard in his restaurant. He didn't want girls twerking in his restaurant, up on the tables. And here's the argument that some people posed. But you playing twerking music in here. And see, that's how some people can find anything to argue about. Look, some people are so smart, so intelligent, that they can argue when they dead ass wrong. I find it it's useless intelligence, but they can argue even when they're wrong and make it make sense. A wrong argument can make some sense, because what people who are intelligent do is they incorporate a reasonable doubt in their argument. So once you know you're wrong, but yet you can bring reasonable doubt in, you kind of feel like you're winning a nonsensical argument. I see it happens all the time. I just never really bring it up on certain topics, but I see it all the time. So the brother was like, look, y'all got to get out. And people were arguing. Well, why you playing Big Frida in here? Well, let me ask you a question. If there's a piano in let's say Wyatt has a steakhouse. Wyatt Steakhouse. Nice part of town. Valet parking. We wearing suits. Everybody pulling up, and you're going to get you a nice steak or lobster or something in my restaurant. And the piano is over there, and my piano man is playing something. He playing something really nice and special. Does that mean everybody in the restaurant should get up and start singing that song because the man on the piano is now playing the song? He might be playing a Drake song, a cover of Drake's song. Does that mean everybody should stand up and start rapping the lyrics because I do that? Because my piano man plays something that's popular on the radio? You got to have quorum up to yourself. And for people to make the argument that this lady or these young women should not have been told to stop twerking or not being put out the restaurant. The man didn't just come out and crash out on him because he came out one time. He came out 3 times and respectfully asked them not to twerk, not to get up and dance. 3 times. If you don't like the rules, don't come. You can't come to someone's place and make your own rules. Pretty easy. Let me show you this video. Now, I didn't set the precedent of how I feel, but I want y'all, let me just, I'm just, give me your opinion. Did they go far? Did the airline go too far for firing this lady right after her probationary period? Now, you didn't been good, sis, the whole time, and you go off and break a rule. And I don't know if this rule is necessarily detrimental to the brand, but it sure isn't a good look for the brand. I might have not have gone to this extreme of firing her, but I may have put her on another probationary period. Check it out.
The flight attendant whose twerking cost her dream job.
I didn't think that, being so happy can turn into something like this.
Nell Diallo was having a great time dancing and twerking in the aisle on an empty plane before an early morning flight.
I decided to just take advantage of the moment to wake myself up and kind of get myself hyped up for my day, basically.
She posted the video on TikTok along with the caption, "What's wrong with a little twerk before work?" But after the video went viral, she says Alaska Airlines fired her. What did they say to you?
They just said that I broke their social media policy.
Nell had only been on the job for 6 months. She says she was twerking to celebrate the end of her probationary period. Why did you decide to post the video?
And I was really proud of myself that I came so far. I just didn't think that my video and my post and the way I was dancing would be deemed as inappropriate.
So how did you feel in that meeting when they told you you lost your job?
I put on such a proud face every time I stepped on that plane. And for them to terminate me without giving me a chance, it just was unfair.
The flight attendant who's...
Okay, now she sounds respectful. She sounds like a nice young lady. But let's not play the naive part. There's rules, there's meetings, there's conferences that you go to. There's a reason why they have certain strict rules for the airline stewardess in the first place. You have to be well groomed. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be manicured. Okay. There's a certain way they want you to be. There's a certain standard that you have to set. Now, let's just say she would have did this same video without her uniform on, without the name, the name of the airline and all that, and doing it actually on one of their planes. I probably would have a lot more sympathy for her. But you included the brand. If a Cincinnati Bengal cheerleader go out and do some shit in a Bengal cheerleading outfit down at Cincinnati, in downtown Cincinnati on Fountain Square, and do some twerking and do a bunch of other shit, they're gonna fire her. They're gonna tell her, you're representing our brand, and that's not what we do. You know the rule book. You know this is why we have you on a probationary period, to prevent you from doing things like this and to see if it's gonna work out. And the first thing you do right after your probationary period ends is you break one of the rules. I don't know if the airline has lost. I don't know if they went too far. If I was the shot caller, if I was in HR, I probably would tell her, hey, look, take it down, and we're going to put you on whatever the probationary period was. We're going to do another probationary period for probably the same time frame that you were on, maybe half of it. If she was on probation for a year, she would go 6 months. If it was 6 months, I would say 3 months. But to fire her, I think is a little extreme, but I don't run that multi-million-dollar company. But you got to know better. You have to know better than to do something like that. And to be honest with you, I'm sure she'll probably find another job doing the same thing. And I guarantee you what she will not do. If she went to Delta after Alaskan Airline, I guarantee you she won't after her probationary period. I doubt that she'll make a congratulation twerk video with the brand on and everything. She could have done that away from the airplane, out of uniform. She could have done a whole lot of other stuff than what she did. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's see how people feel about this one. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Wyatt, it's Tracy. How you doing?
Tracy, what's good, sis? Long time no talk
Man,
to.
I thought you wrote us off. I'm like,
Now,
what the hell?
now you know I would have sent you a message like, I ain't fucking y'all no more. I'd have been on the phone with you. I'd have been Tracy,
my
I ain't
God.
messing team up no more. I know.
I'm like, what did we do? He just skipped off into the sun and left us hanging, but it's all good.
No,
listen, we're back to disagreeing again, Wyatt. I'm at work. I got to make it quick.
Okay.
The problem is she probably didn't read her handbook, her employee handbook.
Whose problem is that?
And whose fault is it? It's her fault.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure we established that.
The employer slide you the handbook you're supposed to read, because I bet you it was in there, whether it was buried or not. It told her what she could and couldn't do in uniform. And when you're in uniform, no matter what company you work for, you're representing that company and that brand. I'll give you an example. My husband is a UPS driver.
Yep.
You'll never see me run off and meet him on his route and jump out of my car and give him a big hug and a kiss. He can't do that.
That's right.
You know, I'm a member of a sorority. You will never see me acting a fool in my letters or in a bar or, walking around with alcohol in my hand. You have to respect your uniform and your brand because you are a part of it.
So where do we disagree in this? Let's get to that.
Because you said that she should have got an extension on her probationary period. No, that's what the probationary period is for. And if during that probationary period you didn't sit down and read the handbook and know what you can and can't do and what your rights are, that's on you. You just don't pass.
I agree with you. You're right. You know what? Believe it or not, I think I was just being sympathetic to the situation. The truth of the matter is,
because she's a pretty girl. Get out of here.
No, absolutely not.
Before work.
Absolutely not. It had nothing to do with that. Because I said at the beginning of me putting this out, I said I'm going to look at this from two different perspectives, from the business end and then from me being a personal individual. I said I didn't quite say it like that, but that's what I was trying to say. From a business end, I understand them letting her go, but from me being a personal person out here, being a business owner, my thing would have been take it down. And I would have extended her probationary period. That was just the sympathy part of me being the human part, you know. But from a business perspective, me being a business owner, I probably would have done exactly what they did because of the brand protection. Like your husband, he can't go out. They cannot shoot videos and TikToks in the back of their truck and working hard. Like you can't do that because it's a brand that you're protecting. UPS been
and
out
they do it all the
forever.
time. Why in those UPS, FedEx, and what's the other one? Amazon. They do it all the time. But the thing is you're on company time, or you stealing time. You better put in there, I'm on break, or you shouldn't even be showing what's in your truck. It's just you have to be very careful. There's a fine line there.
So are we on agreement that we all know she was wrong for twerking in the plane and with her uniform and all that on, but do you agree with the move of the airline by releasing her?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, we agree, sis. We agree. I thought that the ladies would be a little bit more sympathetic to the situation because it was an innocent twerk. She didn't show anything. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to get all into that aspect of it, but she didn't like climb on the seats and make it a filthy. It could have been bad.
But you still have to show a level of professionalism.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because the first thing I thought was, oh man, soul plane is a real thing. You know what I mean? You have to show that level of professionalism, and she did not. She didn't pass her probationary period. That's what they have that in place for. It's a weeding process, and she got caught up in the weeds.
I agree. We're gonna have to disagree more like this, Tracy. I enjoyed this disagreement.
Well, you have a good rest of your day, and hello to everybody else
Thanks,
too.
sis. Missed you.
All right, missed you all too.
Peace. That's Tracy. Thanks for engaging with us, Tracy. I appreciate it. She still owe me some homework, but I ain't gonna never see that. I'm never gonna see that. I just thought that maybe the what all twerking, I seen more celebration there than I seen twerking. And look, y'all know how I am. I'm the one who was going so hard on the little girls that was twerking at that man's restaurant in that conversation. I was going crazy about how people were trying to defend that. I think in this particular video, I think the little 3 seconds of twerking was a small portion of the minute video, the minute TikTok. You see, I mean, she turned around one time, did it, blah, blah, blah. It was wrong. But I think her celebration of walking down the aisles and, you know, doing what she does for a living for the airline, she displayed that more than anything. So I gave her a little grace on that. But if I'm HR, I probably, as a business, as being Alaska Airline, I would have released her. But from just being somebody that understands how people could make a mistake and the human side of me, I would say, hey, you know, let's evaluate this. I see that she only took, you know, so much time, and, you know, she was really proud of being able to make it through the probationary. I get it. But here we are again. I think she probably looks a little older. I think she looks a lot older than what she really is. I think this is one of them little girls that probably took that older looking gene. You know what I mean? Like she probably, because she got the makeup on, the hairdo, she's in a professional type setting. She probably adds about 5 years to her. And I could be totally wrong. I'm just assuming this because her dictation didn't match her look to me. That's just me. She spoke a little bit younger than she actually looks. You feel me? Y'all seen these little girls that look older, and when they open their mouth, you can tell that they're younger. This is the same thing with guys, I'm sure. Whenever you see someone, they look older, they look mature, and then when you hear them talk, start explaining, you know, you can tell who they really are by the way that, you know, the things that they say. So I don't know. You know, I just think that she made a young person mistake. She paid for the mistake, losing the job. Hopefully someone else, somebody will pick her up. I don't know. We'll see. But let me go to the phone lines. Let me get another opinion on what we think about this. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt?
What the hell? What is this? Who is this?
The twin, man.
Oh, what's up, twin? Where you calling from?
Calling from the couch.
Oh, you must be sick.
No, I just woke up.
Okay, what's on your mind, twin? Did you see the video?
Yeah, I've been saw the video. You know what I'm about to say. And there's rules and regulations to this, man, under company policy, man.
Okay.
I think she just was doing for TikTok or something like that, but you know, she couldn't wait to get that out. When I passed my probation thing, hey, I'm a twerk. She probably already had that planned out and everything, but as a professional steward, I mean, you know, whatever, flight attendant, whatever you is, she got to be respectful, especially a woman. You got to represent for the company.
Okay.
You out here twerking and all that. I know you might crash out one day and start twerking, and we play something on the intercom by mistake and everything. So, as a woman, and you know, you professional and stuff, and you doing all that for attention or whatever you're trying to do, be a model or stripper. This ain't it.
I don't think she was trying to do all that. I don't think she was doing all that. I think these younger generational people tend to do things for clicks, and they show out a lot. They do things that make that, you know, it's no different than a graduation to me. Like, I would feel bad if a girl or a little boy, let's just keep it what it is, a girl, if she went up on the stage and got her diploma and twerked on top of the stage, that's a bad look. But she has an accomplishment and she's doing something.
You gotta look at it with a new era, Wyatt.
Yeah.
Them kids, man, them kids stepping out on. They ain't gonna what Rolls Royce and everything else, funeral cars and stuff on graduation and proms, and I'm like, man, I ain't never did this. So you gotta look at it when a new era and everything. But you know, she probably doing for like you said, clickbait or something like that.
Yeah, of course, but you have to take in consideration, twin. Oh, well, I think we're on the same page. I think we're on the same page. Excuse me. You don't think it was appropriate. Do you think they should have fired her for that?
No, I would have. I mean, you sign off on there because I can tell you, like I just put in the chat already, earlier that dude, you know, we sign off when social media stopped taking flight and everything. Kroger's does not say nothing about the company or anybody, employee and everything. You sign off on it, and the dude went off on Kroger's about Kroger. I mean, ripped them a line and then, you know, I got fired for that. He signed off on it. She did and everything signed off on it. But you understand why you go against our policy. They had to be fired. Ain't no win-win situation with that. Because you know about the rules, or you know, well, we go be 30 days or 2 weeks. No. I mean, they went in on Kroger's. And that was crazy.
I understand.
And that thing. So you gotta go by the rules, man, especially her being professional like that in that field as an airline steward or whatever. No, you can twerk somewhere else.
Well, what precedent does it set to you? If you see this video and you see that it's American Airlines,
if I was a supervisor, something like this, I would have suspended her for a couple of days. I wouldn't have never fired her because we live in it's a new era we living in. Social media is the new. So
okay,
I wouldn't fire her. No, I would have gave her a couple of days off.
Okay, so you wouldn't have fired her.
No, hell no, I would never fire her. Keep twerking, babe, because I know you gonna go home and twerk some more.
I figured, you know, I was wondering where you were going with it. I didn't get.
Oh, I don't have sympathy, but I ain't gonna fire you like that.
Yeah,
no, I ain't gonna fire you. But I'm gonna give you an understanding. We're gonna have an understanding. Hey, babe, you can't do that.
And if I'm not mistaken, hold on, you're a union guy too, right, twin? You're in a union.
Yes, exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the airline stewardess are in unions.
Yeah,
and if they are in unions and this firing happened, she probably violated something that the union couldn't save her from. You know what I'm saying? So
I told you that when you go there, policy and stuff, they take that serious, man.
Right.
They take it real serious, and especially in her field.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a little fish at Crow. She's like really, really representing people, and you know, accidentally they push that button and the music started playing in the air or something. She up there twerking in the aisle. Come on.
Okay, that's a little extreme. I don't know if that would actually happen. I'm not getting those vibes.
You never know what might happen, man. These crazy people, you can go in the air and start making, you know, somebody after me. Hold on.
Let me tell you, airline stewardess are people too. So you're absolutely right. Let me take.
Right.
Let me tell you.
They get on there drunk, the pilot and all that.
I don't know about all that, twin. You be taking shit way to the extreme on that one, but I'm just
saying. Okay, player. You didn't hear about it last year when that pilot got on there drunk?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're human. I get it. I'm not suggesting.
Okay, then so don't say it can happen, man.
No. What I'm saying, you misunderstood me.
I understood what you saying,
I'm
man.
just saying that in most cases, this young lady made the type of error that a younger individual, young to the workforce, would make. Okay, not a extreme to come into work drunk and just disrespecting the job that kind of way. There's a different level of just not really not to come to work drunk. Okay, that's just like a common sense type of a thing. Coming to work and maybe doing a video in today's society, I can understand them doing it. They may not understand some of the things that they do in that video, and it could slaughter the brand, so to speak. They may not get that because they don't understand that. Then they don't really understand that. Okay, but it's like what Tracy said. Her husband and them can't really do things with their uniform on and do stuff, blah, 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 blah. I get it. They understand it because they understand they're representing the brand, you know, and this, I think the younger you are, the less likely you're going to understand some of those type of restrictions. You just don't understand, or there's a restriction, but she might have thought Well, I ain't stand on any chairs. I didn't go in the cockpit. I didn't show my underwear. I didn't do this. See, the levels of, there's levels based on your age, as far as I'm concerned, of
Man, she was
understanding certain
twerking,
things.
man.
Oh, it wasn't
Couple
that.
more inches, she would have been showing a whole Democrat, man.
Oh my God, it wasn't like that.
I'm
But I
saying,
don't
man,
agree
come
with
on,
it.
man. She put her legs on there and don't stop, get it, dude, Brown, and a couple more, the whole Democrat would have been showing in the back. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
if
had
it
to
was that
kept
bad.
looking. I'm like, man, I'm just waiting for her to just raise a third leg or something. Some got to. It was about to fly up if the wind was blowing.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was that bad.
Hey, what? Yesterday, man, you talked about Don Robinson, right? Is it Don
Oh yeah,
Invo?
yeah. Don from Invo.
Yeah, man. She's like 3 years living in her car.
Yeah.
I mean, she pretty in person. I met them when I was at O'Hare. Them and Steve Harden, all them, they had a little thing going on. And my thing is this, man. He said, my ex said, in a field hospitality, he made, $500,000. He said he'll put her on if she reach out or whatever,
Okay.
take his invite.
Okay.
Even though he said, because he said he went through mental stages and everything.
Well,
Somebody had to pull him up out of bootstrap and, tell him.
I think that's big of him. I think that's huge of him, because he loved her at one point. He probably still does. I mean, most men, it's hard to not love somebody that you loved once before, unless it just went way south. But in that particular case, I don't know if they have children together or anything. I didn't get all into it like that. But he definitely is in a position where he can help her, and he's extended the help.
She just got to put her pride aside, man, and, take out a, open arm if their invitation, credibility to you to, get you back on your feet or get you to, even though you made millions or whatever, but hey, if it's you, make them back. But hey, baby, here's my invite.
Here's the thing. A lot of people have perceptions of stars, celebrities.
Yeah.
We always think that they've made millions of dollars. And I think it's even tougher for them. I don't agree with that. I don't think that they all made millions of dollars. But here's what I know for sure. It's tougher to make millions of dollars when you have multiple people in the group. You see what I'm saying? If you make, for every one, there's 5 people in that group. So for every 1 million that they make, they only, they're not making $1 million.
I'm just saying, in case
I'm just talking about in general.
Not $1 million or whatever.
I'm talking in general.
You ain't got to be extra about it, man.
No, what I'm talking about for the people that think that this lady has made millions of dollars.
I understand what you're talking about. You ain't got to be extra about it. I was just, making an opinion.
No, I'm not. Maybe I'm not talking to you. Maybe
you talking to me. I understand what the words coming out your mouth.
Twin,
you speak English just like I do, man.
Twin, we got people on the air that I'm speaking to as well as you, and I'm just telling people, maybe not you. I'm telling people that celebrities don't make all the money that we think that they're making.
I know you got 5 people in the group. Hey, all of us ain't gonna get all that million.
Right. And that's all. I mean, look what happened to TLC. They never touched any money. And it was only 3 of them.
Right.
And they had a platinum album. They were making 7 cents on the dollar. 7 cents on the album sale. And they had to split that 7 cents.
They don't own any masters though, do they?
No. And they had to split that 7 cents by 3 ways. I mean, you making 7 cents an album?
Wow.
And they had to split it 3 ways. I mean, you got to understand the music industry, not just you. I'm just in the music industry. You got to pay
the band and all that, right?
Well, yeah, but that's a little bit different. Those are 2 different. There's a couple different ways you make money in the industry. You don't really look for the money off the album sales, okay? Especially in the first couple albums, you're not gonna make any money because you're recouping the advance. You owe the record company for giving you money. But what happens is this: you don't make money until you go out on tour. So you could sell a million records and you still paying back, you're recouping money for them, and they're gonna get and they charge interest as well. And it's astronomical interest. I mean, the record industry is a ripoff for the artist. And the only way you're gonna make money in the music industry is to own your masters, own your music, and to be able to go out and tour. Because the tour money is all yours. The money that you make on the road is all yours.
Hey, why back then though, you know, in the 90s, say early, what, late 80s, early 90s, back then you was making money off the record, right?
No, they are. Why do you think so many of those artists went bankrupt back in the day? TLC went
I,
bankrupt. Tony Braxton went bankrupt. There's a
they
lot
didn't
of.
know about they didn't know about the owning percent of it. Like Master P, he on all his.
Well, Master P had a different type of deal. He had an 80-20.
That's one.
He had an 80-20 deal because he was more independent than anything, and he owned his own masters. So it was a totally, he was one that came in with the old head. He understood the game, and he was independent first. So what happened is he added value to himself, to the record companies. He didn't ask the record companies for anything. The record companies came and found him. So he had leverage, and leveraging a deal, when you have the value, you'll always get the lion's portion of the money if you negotiate properly.
So why all them like, who is it, Justin, Gucci Man, and all them, why they selling their catalog?
Well, because they can get top dollar for it. I don't know that they are, but assuming that they
No,
are.
they have Gucci did I believe not just Justin Timberlake. They sold a you know, their catalog and everything.
Well, if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Wyatt," and I'm just using this as an example, guys. You know, this is so far-fetched, but this is the only way I can maybe think of something. I have a catalog of all these of the videos, all these videos for the last 5 years. This is our anniversary week, by the way. 5 years come Friday. And somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Wyatt, I like your work and blah 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 blah. We want to buy your catalog." And I say to myself, right, well, you know, what is it worth to me? If Meta came to me and said, "Hey, your catalog is worth $10 million in real money right now to you. It's worth $10 million." Of course, this is just a made up story. But if somebody offered me $50 million, I have a choice. I could say, well, I'm going to hold on to it because it's worth 10 now and I can leave my kids something or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or I could take the 50 million that somebody offers to own all of my masters and all my work that I've provided on Wyatt Live. I have that to weigh. Do I take 50 million or do I just sit on the 10 million of what it's worth? It might be worth 15 million next year. It may be worth 20 million next year. I don't know. Some people grab the money because they think that the catalog is worth what it's worth to them at that moment. If somebody came around to me and said, if Meta told me I was worth 10 million right now, but somebody came and gave me 50, I might be up out of here. I might be working for that 50 million. You know, I might be working, still doing what I'm doing, but I might take that 50 million and not own my work. I might. I don't know. It all depends on what I really want to do in life.
Hey, did you see Wojciechowski on ESPN? Now, he was sports anchor for them. I was reading his story yesterday. He walked away $7 million, Wyatt, to go be the GM for St. Bonaventure, I think, college.
Okay.
Where he come from, and took a huge, about a 99% pay cut, which he makes $70,000.
I mean, you know what?
Which you would have did it.
If I'm him, I don't. Okay, me. I do what I want to do, and I don't apply money to it. I left money chasing a long time ago. I don't chase money. I do what I want to do. And if it's something that I feel like I can make a living at doing it, I put all I can into it. I give it all I have, because generally what happens is if you conquer something, the money comes. When you chase money, you're chasing problems. But if you get into something that you really, really love, you'll add value to it because you love it. Okay. And I just think that money comes when you add value to whatever it is you're doing. And it's hard to add a lot of value when you don't love it. It's like getting up doing a job that you hate to do every day. You're not going to be the best at it because you don't like doing it every day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people will disagree with me. But if I had to do something every day that I didn't like doing, I don't know. I don't know if my pride is going to guide me into being the best at it. You understand? I've had jobs in my life where I know I wasn't going to be there, and I was working on my projects during my off time, you know, during my time on and off the clock of those jobs. And that job never had 100% of me. You see what I'm saying? It never had 100% of me. I would always be working on what Wyatt had going on. So, you know, and that was what I was going to put my efforts into, and that's where I was going to sink all my energy, and then the money came. Just stop chasing the dollar bills.
When a restaurant left Cincinnati?
Say it again, bro.
Hey, when that restaurant Golden Skillet?
Yeah, Golden Skillet, man, that was my favorite. I don't know
when did they leave?
15 years ago, maybe.
15 years ago.
It might have been longer than that. It's been a while, bro, because I hadn't had.
Where you say it was located?
It was down. I don't know the name of this. I don't know if that's Central Parkway or Logan Street, because it was on the corner. So I don't know what address. It was by Finley Market. So I don't know the exact address, but let's just say it was on Finley. It was in Finley Market because it was on the corner. So I don't know if the main street out there was its address. The other street, which was Logan.
How you don't know? And you from downtown, man?
Because I don't know the address of every building. It's sitting.
Did you ever visit your dang old stomping ground, man?
Central Parkway. I don't know if it. Okay, listen. I don't know if the front door or the mailing address is on. Thank you, Ed. I don't know if it's on Central Parkway or Logan Street because it's sitting on both streets.
Oh, okay. That's all I gotta say. Wyatt, I think.
Okay, I appreciate you, twin.
All right, man.
All right, brother. Talk to you. Thanks for engaging with us. That was twin. Rhodes, J. Rhodes says Central Parkway. It probably was because we walked in the front door of Golden Skillet from the Central Parkway side. That would make sense. That would make sense. What did I say? Sycamore? I didn't mean Sycamore. I was thinking of something else. But yeah, Central Parkway is probably where it's at. But you know, Logan Street is. I guess Logan Street would be its back door, so that wouldn't make sense. But I don't know. Then there was Jay Rose. We didn't have that discussion, bro. He said that was the best chicken. Jay Rose over on YouTube. It was best chicken in the city of Cincinnati. And if you never had it, don't sit back here arguing with me. If Churches is all you ever had and some regular KFC or some crazy ass Lee's fried chicken, don't argue if you never had Golden Skillet. Because Golden Skillet by far was the best chicken in the city of Cincinnati. And all y'all suburbians, y'all don't know nothing about it. You don't know. It wasn't no hood spot. It just happened to be in the hood. Just on the edge over there in the corner by Finley Market. And I seen plenty of white folks going in there too. I seen plenty when they come down to Finley Market during the weekend, you know, when they come downtown and shop, they be in there getting that chicken. They would be in there eating that chicken up, bro. Eating that chicken up. Let's go back to the phone lines real fast. See what we got. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Mr. Wyatt, this is CK.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Man, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
What?
You talking about the Golden Skillet?
Oh my God! You had Golden Skillet chicken?
Yeah, I had Church's chicken, sorry.
Oh shit! Have you ever had Golden Skillet?
Yes, but not the one you're talking about. Not the original. I had a copycat.
Oh,
I didn't have the original, the one you're talking about. I can't lie. I can't lie to you, Wyatt.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I want it. Yes.
What's on your mind today, CK? What's your favorite chicken spot?
Churches, no doubt. Bojangles #2.
Churches.
Close number second. Bojangles.
Hold on, you echoing a little bit, bro. You said Churches, and what was the second one?
Bojangles. Bojangles is close number 2.
Bojangles. What the hell is that?
Yeah. You don't know about Bojangles fried chicken from North Carolina?
No, never had it.
Man.
How you gonna bring some North Carolina shit up in some Cincinnati conversation, bro?
Oh, okay. No, Cincinnati is Church's chicken all day. But you said Golden Skillet is better than Church. But I still respect your combo because you still gave it up for Churches. Because when you named the best chicken, Churches still came out your mouth.
Yeah, Church.
You said, yeah, if you only had Churches, yeah, because you know how to say it.
Churches is it's not like the close second, but it's definitely in second place. Churches was definitely number 2. All right. And I think KFC was probably number 3 for me, because back in that day, they had those little hot wings. KFC used to have the regular hot wings, and I would eat a box of them. Like, I'd eat them like potato chips.
You know who got them now, Wyatt? You know who got them right now?
Who?
Lee's famous recipe.
You know what, man? Yeah, I just don't. Who got them? The wings? You saying it's from Lee's?
They got the party wing. They gonna get you right back on their payroll once you hit the wing.
They got the spicy ones. They got the spicy wings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Bruh, I am a hot wing. I'm a chicken head. When it comes to wings, bro,
right.
I eat wings like potato chips, bro. You hear me? Like one out of the handful of them, I just do damage.
Yeah, I prefer bone in. I prefer bone in chicken.
Okay.
But I will mess up some chicken tenders. I will hit Raising Cane's. I don't care. I will hit Raising Cane's. Are you a Raising Cane's fan?
Bro, let me say this. I hate to tell y'all, but my taste buds ain't got nothing to do with like Raising the Cane's place and the and what's the other one that Chick-fil-A? That shit is like, I don't mean to be mad at I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but that shit is so bland to me. Like, it's like, it tastes just like the people that's handing it to me. Like, they don't put no damn season. It tastes like some other, like, it just feel like chicken.
But Wyatt, hold on, put on your businessman hat.
Okay.
Their claim to fame, key success is their customer satisfaction. They have number 1 cast satisfaction customer, bar none.
Who?
They make you feel like heaven.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about. The place closed on Sunday for the Lord.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, they got great service, but that don't make me want to buy. Listen. I ain't trying to be stupid about it, but like, Alabama Fish don't have the best service, but people be standing in line for that shit. So it don't really matter what the service is if the product is good in a lot of people's mind. But for me, I would rather have somebody that's what you want. You want fries with that piece of chicken? Yeah, I'd rather have that type of service. I'm okay with getting that service as long as my shit is clean and it's fixed properly. You ain't got to treat me all like I ain't got to be. You ain't got to kiss my ass for me to spend my money with you. As long as the product is good. But at the same time, just don't disrespect me. Okay? I ain't saying you can
Mr. Wyatt, hold on. You're going against the principles of business.
No, I'm not.
One-on-one. You're going against your own.
No, I spoke as a customer.
The way you treat people is the way you get into all these doors that we can't reach. It's your relation. It's your relationship with the person, sir. That's what gets you into these ventures to make deals behind the closed doors. Because you can make relationships with these people. It's based on the relationship, the satisfaction.
I agree from a business perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not thinking like that when I want some tasty chicken. I don't think people not going, okay, raise your hand by the show of hands. Who go to Chick-fil-A because they treat you right?
That's everyone, 100%
no,
of people.
They will compliment how they've been treated, but they're not going there. If the chicken was nasty and they got treated right, they wouldn't go there to get no nasty, treated right ass chicken. They wouldn't do that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But Johnny, listen, sir, they have to have it where if you come in at 2, they gonna have your stuff ready at 2:01. That's how you got to have it. You got to make sure every time. You got to make sure they make sure the customer satisfaction is 101,000. Sir.
I understand that. All I'm saying,
and that's what made them number 1. I'm saying that's why I don't understand how you don't know why they number 1 when you don't eat the food. It ain't about the taste; it's about the quality of how they treat you.
No.
Okay, that's the only reason they took over the number 1 spot. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's.
No, that's not why.
Well, you tell me why. You tell me, sir.
I personally believe that they're a better franchise because of the convenientness. Yes, it is going to play a part in how they treat you, but it's also a fast service. I've never seen, there's not a restaurant in town, no matter where you go, whatever city you're in, every Chick-fil-A is crowded, but it don't take nothing but 5 minutes to get through the line. You're only going to take 5 or 10 minutes, no matter how crowded they are. But let me just say this, CK. People, my kids like their sandwiches. They love the Chick-fil-A, but that's what they go for. They go because they like the chicken. I just don't like the chicken like that. I'm not going somewhere and spend my money just because they treat me right, but I don't like what they deliver. That don't make sense at all. What if I can order a pizza every night and it took it 5 minutes? As soon as I hung up the phone, they was ringing the doorbell, but I don't like the pizza, but it come in fresh and hot and nasty than a motherfucker. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that pizza because it was conveniently served to me hot, melting cheese, but the sauce is horrible and it's nasty, but they cut it nice. And the guy who delivered it was special and nice and said hello and you know, was a nice guy, and they were nice on the phone when I ordered it. No, I don't. Look, I want to be treated well, but you don't have to overboard it. I need a good product. Give me a nice pizza. I want a pizza that I want, that I can taste and love it. That's what I want. That's more important to me for my money.
But you got to understand, food is the only thing you can get away with treating the customers bad, and they still coming back.
You think so?
Any other business, yeah, food you can do it. You're right, because like you said, you could be like, man, they can talk to you crazy, and you come back because of the quality. But in other endeavors, that wouldn't work. I give you Dame Dash.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, because you need to be treated well. That'll make you stop the whole thing. That'll make you stop the whole thing right there.
Well, look, man, I know some people that keep buying the same type of car, and that car ain't been good to them. But every time a new one come out, you know what I'm saying? Like every 2-3 years when the new body style come out, my sister-in-law, I shouldn't say this because she may watch this, but she don't like that car manufacturer ain't good for her. But every time a new one come out and they put some shiny toys and shit on it, it looked like it's gonna do better than the last one. And it doesn't. You see what I'm saying?
You're talking about that Nissan Maxima.
How did you know it's Nissan? You're absolutely right.
I knew it.
You're absolutely right.
I already know, because them the cars you want to keep getting.
And
that's how I want to know.
I'm like her. I didn't want to bring the brand up because there's people on here that I don't want to try to make it seem like I'm being funny on their product. But I'm just saying, maybe my sister-in-law the only one that buy the lemon every time. But I'm just saying she has the worst luck with this particular brand of car. But they keep telling her. David Herring said the same thing, Nissan. And that was my first car. The first car I ever bought was a used. It was a Nissan Datsun. Y'all remember Datsun? Nissan bought Datsun.
Yeah.
But it was a 200 SX Nissan Datsun. It was my favorite car, but it wasn't shit back then. Okay, it looked good. It was but that all being said, my sister-in-law always buys a Nissan. And every 4 years when a new one come out and they didn't fix this that was a problem back then, they always telling her, they always telling her it's something new and this is this and they fixed the trans and they've done this. But she always buy one. So I don't know if it's just food where if the service is not good, you keep coming back. You don't have to have perfect service. I don't think it's just food, because there's restaurants, bro, that have great food, good food, and I don't go back to them because they're dirty or the service isn't good. I just can't. I don't care how your shit tastes. If your floors is dirty and your people coming out here acting crazy, I just don't think that I'm gonna be visiting your facility. Your franchise, your company. I'm not gonna do it.
And that, like you said, the dirtier the restaurant, the better the food.
I never said it. Who said that? Who said this shit? He said like you said. Nah, I ain't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. Nah,
Alabama Fish Bar was a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Eminem, he has a spaghetti factory in his hometown, sir. Name is called Mom's Spaghetti. Wyatt, when I tell you, this is not no lie. The Chef Boyardee can taste bad. I mean, he went after bad taste. I've never seen it in my life. They said, no, this too tastes too good. Let's make something that tastes worse. He went after the bad taste. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, he went after that. I never seen it. And it's a hole in the wall. Went after bad taste. They saying it tastes like the lunch, cafeteria spaghetti.
Okay.
But I
Well, let
mean,
me make a
when you
PSA.
reach,
Let me do a PSA for everyone, and this is for you too, because I know you travel sometime. Just to let everybody know, Baltimore, Maryland has some of the best hole in the wall restaurants I've ever seen in my life. Next to New Orleans, I just want to let everybody, if you've ever gone to Baltimore and you go down to the pier, Baltimore has some of in the red light district and all that. Some of the restaurants that they have in Bmore, you look on the outside and you be like, I ain't shit. Look like you get robbed down that alley. You walk down the alley and they have guys at the doors, and when you walk in, you would be amazed how some of these restaurants look. They're unbelievable. They're immaculate on the inside, and they have great food. But you might be a little frightened going down to the doorstep. You feel me? Because you got to walk down some of the alleys, and at nighttime it's really crazy. But be more got
yeah. But you're talking about a murder city, so this is very scary eating. This is horror eating.
Yeah, but this is not in the murder district. Let's just be real.
Thank God.
It's not in the murder. This is down in, like I said, the red light. It's like it's like going down to if you live in Cincinnati, I could do St. Pete here, but if you go to if you're in Cincinnati, you could go to certain restaurants in Cincinnati that are over the Rhine, but they're not on that. They're not in that. Bro, are you ringing up groceries? $13.95. Please put in the bag. What you doing, CK? You bagging groceries?
You see it?
Okay.
You see it?
I can hear it. Put it on mute or something, bro.
My bad. No, it's not.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
I got it. There you go. All right.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. But yeah. That's all I want to holler at you about anyway, man. It's all respect on my end. You know, I respect some people regardless.
Same here, brother.
Oh, that's what I want to hear about. I seen the higher learning. You and your family was celebrating your daughter getting a scholarship, a graduation.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, that was great. Man, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That is what you talk about right there. So you're not just talking about it. You're living. You know what I mean? You're living right there.
Right. That's generally what I try to do here on Wyatt Live, is kind of practice what I preach and preach what I practice.
Yeah. I'm gonna listen to you, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you, CK. Thanks for engaging, brother. Thank you very much. Brenda Early, what's up, sis? She says, I love Baltimore fresh seafood. Make the trip every May. Yeah, because it's right on the pier, right on the harbor. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, everything is fresh. I'm not a seafood eater, but my wife is. But I we go to seafood spots because it's steak and seafood. But I've never had so much. Well, I shouldn't say never. Baltimore was shocking. For the last 5 years or so, we kind of make it every year, a couple times a year. We would go during the Bengals. Whenever the Bengals went to Baltimore to play, we always got there and enjoyed the game and loved the food. We would always go a day early. We would always show up there, and the games are on Sunday. We would always show up on Friday, spend the weekend in Baltimore. It's a great time. Baltimore is a great time. Unfortunately, they do have that reputation of being a murder city. They are, but you got to be in that murder district. You know what I'm saying? It's like any other city that has crime. It has crime in certain areas. It's not a crime-driven city all over the place. There's just crime. I mean, you can do that in Dallas. There's just in cities, there's just crime-infested areas. But the city gets the name for it. I mean, get the reputation of being that. So it's not fair, but it is what it is. Carolyn Smith says, Wyatt, what would you do if one of your daughters brought home a CK or a twin? It is now time for a commercial break. And that's what I would do if one of them ever brought home a CK or a twin. That cool? Did you get it? You get it? That's what I would do. I hope you heard all of that. Hell yeah. All day. Them my brothers right there. Black man. Hell yeah. Peace, King. Peace and Pan-African. Yeah, hell yeah. I'd be okay with that. Shit. Anyway, let me take a sip off that. Shit, don't hit me with no trick ass questions like who asked me that question? You banned for a week. You try to get me canceled by my brothers. See, look at that. Twin already hit me with don't bring your ass to Kroger. See what I'm saying? And I need something from Twin this week. Y'all know I'm going to Chi this weekend. I'm going to be in Chicago this weekend. And now I ain't got no damn pass. So I got to run around the damn city of Chicago like I'm at Withrow with no hall pass. And I got to wait for Triggs I got to run from Triggs and shit. And hopefully he don't catch me in the hallway. And this is a much severe punishment at Withrow, in Chicago than it is at Withrow without a hall pass. Y'all got me saying crazy shit about my brother Twin, my bro Twin. When y'all know I need a hall pass for this weekend. Shit, Twin, they tripping. They tripping. See? Shit, man, I can't. Y'all know I love to go certain places in certain cities. That's just me. That's just me. And I will name drop in a minute when I get there. Yeah, my bro, such and such said, you know, that I was good. Yeah, you good, bro? You good? Sorry, I mean, y'all just don't understand. Like, that shit is real. Like, I remember I showed that one clip out in Seattle, and that little YouTuber dude was running around the city fleecing people for money and doing some old fake shit and had the camera and was talking bad about certain little restaurants, and these were black-owned restaurants, and bro was like, you got to check in out here. You got to check in before you do some shit like that out here. Yeah, that's real shit in this world today. If you gonna go in city, that's why I tell y'all that little dude that be doing that shit. What's his name? The food critic, the fake ass food critic dude. What's his name? Darron or whatever. What's his name? Somebody put it in the screen so I can get his name. I'm gonna lose it if I don't get his name. The food critic dude. Shit, he gonna come in the city of Cincinnati, bro, talking that shit about them restaurants and them people got their money up. They got their money up on these places, man. And you gonna come in here and shit a brick in Cincinnati on people that got their money up. And I don't do that, bro. You can't do that. You got to check in. And see, this is what it is. I was the only one that said that in the city. And then I get looked upon a certain kind of way because I said, dude need to check in. He don't need to be putting our companies down like that. And then Darius or something like that. Mama Birch, she said, I can't remember his name. I think it's Darius or something. So I'm like, whoa, dude need to get checked. And then what did he do? He left Cincinnati and went where? To Indianapolis, and what they do to him? Checked his ass. Yeah, I know I look foolish for saying the way Darius Cooks. Thank you, Carolyn. I know I look foolish for saying the truth sometimes, but that show was one of the times that I was on point. And somebody did check his ass several times in Indianapolis. Had his ass running out of that damn restaurant. Hell yeah. Don't do that. Y'all see, your boy Dr. Umar Johnson came into Cincinnati, and he said, what was the name of the company? What was the name? I put it up. Let me see. I still may have it. Yeah, there it is right there. He left something special for y'all. He went to Cincinnati. He came to Cincinnati. What was the rest? He came to Soul Secrets. He went to Soul Secrets in Cincinnati, and he left something on his page. I thought that was big of him. I'm glad he did that. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool of him. Maybe he'll tell his daughters. Maybe he'll bring his daughters to Soul Secret. Maybe he'll, I don't know. I don't know. He better get that shit together before he, shit looking crazy out here. Anyway, I'm at the top of the hour, guys. I'm at the top of the hour. I don't, I had one more story to talk about. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow. But before I get into that and see if I have enough time, let me explain to you the rest of the week for me. What is today? Wednesday? Tomorrow is Thursday. I should be here tomorrow. I don't think there's going to be a problem. I do have things that I have to do in the office. However, I should make it here tomorrow at 1:00. Friday is my 27th wedding anniversary. So I don't think I'm going to be here on Friday. And then over the weekend, I'll be in Chicago. We leave for Chicago, spending that weekend in Chicago. And Monday, I don't know if I'm going to be here because my wife and I are planning to leave Chicago on Monday. I think that's going to be a travel day for me. And we may stay. It all depends. There's some things in our schedule that will, there's some things like my wife wants to catch a show in Chicago. It looks like it's on Monday morning or Monday night. And we were scheduled to leave on Monday. So we may stretch the trip out. I don't know. Chicago is one of them cities where it's always something to do. You can live spontaneous in Chicago. You can go broke in Chicago because there's always something to do in Chi. And I mean, like the Lion King. There's so many different shows and attractions in Chicago. The museums, there's just so much to do. The aquarium, there's so much to do and so much to eat. The food is great. 27 years my wife and I have been together, and we went to Chicago on our honeymoon. So we want to try to visit some of the places we went that same week that we were in Chicago the first year we were married. Some of those places are gone now, but we'll weigh it out. We'll weigh it out. So we have I'll let you guys know by Monday what we're looking like. I'll know exactly how we're looking. David Herring, what's good, bro? He said another episode of Wyatt Live on the drive is in order. Yes, I tell you what I'll do. But see, that the thing is we're doing it on Saturday. But yeah, some people tuned in on Saturday last weekend. I've been on the road lately. I'm trying to fly, as y'all can see. I mean, like my daughter was like, "What time do we go to the airport?" When we were going to Evansville, and I'm like, "Well, the airport is in the garage, baby. We'll be on the runway at noon." You know what I'm saying? I have my own 3 hours I can drive. I can get to Chicago in 3.5 hours. It's listed as a 4-hour drive. So my wife and I were going to go to Cincinnati, and there's some things we have to do. She has a scheduled Friday in Cincinnati to do some things with a few family members that we always do. Our anniversary, we celebrate anniversary with a couple couples because they were married around the same time. So we'll do that Friday thing with them in Cincinnati. And then we're going to drive from Cincinnati to Chicago. So that's going to be a great time. So I probably will. Let's just say I'll do a live from I think I'll do a live that Saturday morning. My wife don't like stuff like that, y'all. I'm trying to get her out of her shell. You see how my daughter's kind of like that too. Remember in the drive, my daughter was like, she was trying to dance. She was trying to talk. She was trying to sing. I was killing her in the lyrics. I was killing, like she can't keep up with me vocally. So that kind of puts her in a shell a little bit like, Dad, you sing so much better than me that I don't have it like I used to. So that all being said, I don't think I can get away with them same concert series with my wife on the road. But what I will do, whether she likes it or not, I am going to put Mrs. Wyatt on blast on our way to Chicago because we have such a great weekend. I want to document this weekend. We're going to do so. I think I'm going to try to get on every rooftop that the city offers in Chicago over the weekend. Every rooftop. So we'll be doing some things. I'll keep everybody posted on how we moving. I was going to talk about this other story, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna have enough time to make that happen because I do have something to do for the rest of my day. I have a few things listed. The thing that I was going to talk about, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll wet your beak and tell you what it was. It was basically, who is the catch? All right. And I have a couple videos that I'm going to show you of who is the catch, the man or the woman. And there's a lady who has a son that she's raising on her own. She's a single mother, and she's raising her son to be the catch, not the woman. She says it. I wish I could play this video for you. I tell you what I'll do. Because it's only 30 seconds long. How about I play this clip for you, and then you guys will have this to talk about tomorrow. Okay, men are the prize. All right. That's what this mother is telling the people. Men are the prize. All right. And a lot of y'all won't agree with this, but I'm starting to believe this lady. I like this lady. I believe what she's saying. I understand her philosophy here. She's a single mother. I'll dissect what she's talking about, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. But watch this clip right here. Check it out.
Men have always been the prize. Women, no, let me, hold on. Let me finish, because let me finish. Men have always been the prize. And I'm going to explain what I'm saying. Women marry who they can. Men marry who they want. You can get offended by the statement, but if you really sit down and you think about it and you be honest with yourself, that is a very valid statement. Also, not only that, but by him saying that he is the prize, that does not make her not a prize. I myself am raising a young man. I'm raising my son is 7 years old. He is a miniature Einstein. His manners are beyond most adults that I've ever met. His style of dress, his respect of himself as well as others. I'm instilling in him his faith, his spiritualness. I'm instilling in my son to be a prize, especially with these days, the way that women are raising these young girls. And it's unfortunate, but and also the numbers, it's always been since the beginning of time, women will fight over a man, you know what I'm saying? But they'll accept, but at the same time, they're going to accept, like back in the traditional days, that as long as the house is taken care of and he pays all the bills, he can have those 2-3 families up the street. You know what I'm saying? Men have always been the prize. We have gotten to a point where we disrespect our men so much. I worry so much about what the world is going to look like when my son becomes of age to date and to court and to marry, because I will never let any of your daughters tell my son that he is not the prize. That will never be a thing. And if you have sons, nephews, whatever the godchildren, you should not ever tell your son, oh, she is a. Do you guys see what type of young girls are being raised? So you're telling these young girls that they're a prize over the son that you're putting your time, that you're actually the man who's supposed to be the provider that you guys are looking for, the man who's supposed to be the protector that you guys are looking for, and you just want to sit back and live a soft life. He's not the prize. That will never.
See what happened when women raise men? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I understand what she's saying. The man is the prize. But I promise you tomorrow I'll dissect this. And I have a couple other videos that go along with this. Tune in tomorrow. Same time, same place, right here on Wyatt Live. Peace and love to everybody, man. Thanks for the twos and the fews that have been here. We've been here 5 years. Come Friday. Peace and love. Holla at you.
Sitting here
nice. QB, throw the booty like a groupie for more ice. Armor truck heist, get the bonus like Nabouche. In love with you since the days that you say. Now I watch you play Columbo, Picasso. Tricks inside Colossus, turn your castles to brothels. Who you loving, who you wanna be hugging? Dipping on your ninja Honda with Tanisha and Rhonda. Why? You work more body than Jane Fonda. Physical fitness, Mary Blige be my witness. Under pressure, I lie for you, die for you. Ruger by the thigh for you, right hand high for you. Because of you, I'm inheriting trillions, burying billions, Bentley coupes millions. Playing this Samaritan in the Sheridan. Crack the Don P's and rim P's, you better have it in. Who gon' love you like I do, huh?
Hi, I'm Kalina.